Yeah, but then we get the Venice chase. I like the
The Venice chase is one of my favourite chase scenes in the series.
when he's being chased by Borat.
Because he has a mustache.
The guy looks exactly like Borat.
That's
I never made the connection.
It's not. I'm not meaning it in a racist way. He just has the same hairstyle. He looks like Sacha Baron Cohen.
That's racist.
He looks like Sacha Baron. I didn't go. That guy's from Kazakhstan, so that must be Borat.
Guy single-handedly just got on your YouTube channel banned.
Oh no, people have done that before. No, they actually haven't, but they've said some stuff.
The guy looks like Sacha Baron Cohen. I think it is his name.
The actor or the character?
The character. Does he even have one? Oh, now come on, Rob. That's racist.
That's racist, Robbie. Not all people with mustaches are from Kazakhstan. So, we open with the Paramount logo fading into an actual mountain. Utah, 1912. We get River Phoenix playing a young Indiana Jones. I think he does really well with like the mannerisms and like Harrison Ford's body language and stuff.
Definitely.
But his hair always stuck out to me. I don't know why.
The big mesh, the big strand.
Yeah, I don't know that like River Phoenix had long hair. And it just seems like he had long hair and it was like River Phoenix. I don't know if like
You don't think Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones would have had the long hair?
Yeah, would have had that particular hairstyle in like 1912.
He could open up a newspaper and that's the style I want.
Modern 1980s.
80s Lost Boys style.
No, maybe they had that hair in like 1912. I don't know. I'm no fucking cultural fucking expert. But just as a kid, it always kind of stuck out to me. And I was like, it looks like it looks like River Phoenix's hair. It doesn't look like Indiana
What you're
Jones's
saying
hair.
is you see that as River Phoenix on a circus train.
Yeah. Doing very good Harrison Ford impressions. So good on you. And yeah, River Phoenix died like brutally at 23 of a drug overdose.
It was only a year or so, a couple years after that, was it?
Yeah, not long after. He was like at a club, he was with the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
At Johnny Depp's club, the Viper Room.
Yeah, and Joaquin
And the audio
was
of
there.
have you heard the audio from that club?
It's rough.
Pretty upsetting.
Yeah.
I didn't think we'd be leading this video with this. Nice.
Darkness. Pure darkness. Yeah, no, kind of a sad, horrible story. Don't do cocaine and heroin, kids. Do one or the other.
Oh, at least you turned it educational. Bring the family, come listen to this.
Have a week of cocaine, have a break week, and then do heroin for a week. Just don't combine them. You don't need to combine them. It's too much. You'll die.
Or better, just don't do them.
Maybe. Do a little bit of cocaine every now and then. Every couple of years. Live life.
Oh, that's right, we're talking about Indiana Jones.
This whole opening sequence has like lots of like movement and action. It's constantly going from place to place, and they're on the train. Williams' score is really like upbeat and happy. It's like din din dun, 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 or like major scales and stuff. It's not like a serious action scene. It's like fun.
Yes.
We learn where Indy gets his fear of snakes.
Yeah, there's the scene with the fat guy at the beginning. He's like, it's just a snake. He has no snake fear, and then he rolls into the anaconda thing.
And then also where he gets his sense of style. So like, did they just think, oh, he got the whole fucking persona of every other movie within this 5 minutes.
Yes, that's how movies work. He also got the iconic scar.
Yes, the Harrison Ford scar.
He got the snake phobia. He got the style from that scoundrel guy. And the hat and the scar on the lip, all within like 10 minutes. His whole life just come together in just 10 minutes.
Well, I did want to be a model, but I guess I'll go into archaeology and adventurism. Yeah, I didn't actually think of that until that moment, so...
Yeah.
Once again, another scene ruined for me, thank you.
Harrison Ford in 5 minutes.
And I bet he went, oh, fuck this! Cut
that goddamn modern haircut off. Whether it's modern or not, I don't know. I feel like it's modern.
It looks very 80s.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they just booked River Phoenix because he was popular at the time, then he was like, wait, I'm not cutting this hair.
Yeah.
You know, like a Gene Hackman didn't want to shave his head for Lex Luthor. He didn't want to look bald in
Yeah.
Superman. It's like, why are you playing Lex Luthor?
Why are you an actor?
His main trait is he's bald. Just fucking shave your head.
You know, read the comics, he didn't give no fuck.
It's Gene Hackman, he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. I think Harrison actually suggested River. He played his son in Mosquito Coast.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I've never seen it either.
Yeah, but
There you go. I bet it's
plays
great
son.
though.
Yeah. It's a nice thematic tie-in to have young Indy here because this whole movie is about like family and growing up and him like thinking back on his childhood and all that. So it really ties into the whole theme of it. And then, oh shit, what was I gonna say?
How this shit's getting too sentimental.
I had another note in the scene. I crossed it off. It's gone forever.
But once again, that scene introduces his dad at the beginning.
Yes, you're right, Jai. Look at you go, saying stuff from the movie without struggling to find your notes.
I mean, I watched it a couple of days ago, so we're good.
That's fair. I watched it like 3 times in the last 2 days.
It's got a nice message that family is important.
Family
Just
is
like Vin
important.
Diesel says every single time in Fast and Furious.
Oh yeah, we fade to, what is it, 1938? Portugal coast?
Possibly.
I think Raiders was 36. This is 2 years after Raiders.
38, 39? Yeah, something like
I think it's 38.
Sounds right.
I think it's 38. Yeah, 2 years after Raiders. Harrison Ford and John Rhys Davies and Denham Elliott have all aged like a decade. But it's only been 2 years since Raiders, which is fine because they wanted to set it during World War II, which makes complete sense.
It is actually noticeable that Harrison Ford has aged.
Yeah.
He looks like considerably older.
It's only 5 years.
Yeah, true.
No, it's 8
Maybe, I think...
89 in Last Crusade.
and then 81.
Yeah, that's when Raiders come
Yeah,
out.
so that's 8 years, yeah.
Yeah, that's a while.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
If you look at us from
I probably
8
don't
years
look
ago.
the same as I did
No.
8 years ago.
I feel like I'm looking better than I did 8 years ago. Maybe.
Don't pull up photos of us from 8 years ago.
No, I'm not doing that. That'd take way too much effort. Yeah, this movie is far more in the spirit of Raiders here. We see the college and we see Marcus, and just like, it's more upbeat and fun. I think after the terrible darkness of Temple, that everyone just wanted to go back to that old magic of Raiders and get away from hearts and blood and torture and kids getting whipped.
Yeah. The Germans, the villains again.
Yeah, it's very much in the spirit of Raiders, but does enough to make it its own movie. It's not a Raiders remake whatsoever.
Not at all.
It just has like the spirit and the energy, and the tone, kind of. It's a lot more funny than Raiders. Raiders was pretty fucking dark.
This is the funniest one of the three, by a long shot.
Yeah.
By a long shot.
I said that about Temple when I reviewed it, and then I watched this one. Oh no, this one.
As soon as, I'm jumping out a bit, but as soon as like he hits that halfway point with his father,
Yeah.
from there on to the end,
It's hilarious.
it's pretty much just a funny comedy, like
Yeah.
a buddy road comedy.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford and Sean Connery, their chemistry and charisma is just so brilliant.
Yeah.
And the writing's so like witty and clever, but not stupid. It's like, I don't know, just like the perfect type of humor, and the way they play off each other, it's beautiful.
I also think it's because it's the two caliber of actors, like it's Sean Connery and
Yeah.
Harrison Ford. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like we're just watching like Jack Black and
No.
Jim Carrey or something. Like it's nothing against those guys, they're great.
They're not
But,
like two of the greatest actors
they're not,
of all
it's,
time.
it's not two guys you'd expect to be doing like funny comedy bouncing off of each other.
Yeah. It's like Indy pulling his dad into his world, and his dad being like out of like a fish out of water and being like in shock and like, what is it? You killed all those people? I can't believe you killed these people.
Exactly.
And Indy just irritated with everything his dad's doing. When his dad's throwing his bag into the boat, he's like, oh, Dad! We're not taking the boat. His dad slowly, as the movie goes on, they get like more and more like emotional connections because they're like distant and separated as the movie goes on. And his dad more and more like leans into the action hero thing. At the beginning, he's like, he murders 3 people, Indy. He's like, don't call me Junior. And he's like, I can't believe what you've done. And then by the end, Henry Sr. is shooting like a truck with like the turret on the tank and like murders like 8 people.
And don't forget, he commits mass suicide of birds.
He does.
He's got no regard for life anymore. Taking it out with his son. But no, I feel like we've jumped ahead. Let's go back.
Let's go back. Let's go back.
Out of the bar, now!
Oh, that was the fucking thing I was going to bring up before.
The boat?
No, the note that my brain just lost. The magic box scene when they're on the train and Indy's in it and the scoundrel guy is like,
Oh, yeah.
and he just disappears. That always like melted my brain as a kid. I didn't understand that it was just magic. And like magic exists within this universe like plainly. There's like numerous scenes of heads exploding and spirits and ghosts and phenomenon.
Hard outside the
Yeah, but that like magic box scene as a kid, for some reason, I'm like, I don't understand.
That actually always baffled me too.
I was trying to like logic it. I'm
Yeah,
like, it's magic. Like,
I was always the same. I was like, but he
Yeah.
You can totally accept the Nazi like ghost and then it happens again. You're like, nah, that's too far for me.
I'm like, what is happening? How did he get out? This makes no logical sense. In this fucking grand scheme of supernatural action adventures.
My name is Donovan, Walter Donovan.
I know who you are, Mr. Donovan. Your contributions to the museum over the years have been extremely generous.
What do we think of old Julian Glover as Walter Donovan here?
He's my favourite of the indie villains.
True.
Really?
Yeah.
Even more than who was Face Melty guy? Toad? Not Toad.
Toad.
Yeah.
Toad's good, but I see him more as just like a henchman. Like,
He is the henchman because it's Belloc.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. So if I'm
it's-
comparing like the main villains,
So it's Belloc, Molaram. What's this guy's name? Donovan.
Donovan.
Walter
Yeah.
Donovan,
Walter Donovan.
and then
And then Kate Blanchett.
yeah,
I forget her name. I haven't rewatched
Irina Spalko.
Ah, there we go.
it. Okay. I forgot her name. I'll rewatch that next week.
That's why you're here, Robbie. Yeah, he was in Empire.
Just to clarify, in Crystal Skull is not my favourite movie. I just know the name.
Don't lie to us now.
The best one. By far.
The best one that was made in the last 20 years.
Yeah, he's in Empire. He plays.
He's in the AT-AT.
Yeah.
Is he?
He's one of
Yeah.
the guys.
Yeah.
He's,
What a guy.
Veers.
Shoot him! Fire! And that's what he says.
He's Captain Veers. And then the guy that plays Hitler is apology accepted, Captain Nita. Hitler is Captain Nita. And Walter Donovan is
Yeah.
General Veers? General Veers? He's one of the Imperial officers.
Don't worry, you'll get more screen time in a movie I'm making a decade later.
There's a beautiful moment on the special features. He auditioned for the Nazi captain,
Right.
and his agent rang him back and he's like, "You didn't get the Nazi captain," and he's like, "Oh." And he's like, "But they want you for like the main role," and he's like, "Wait, what? What do you mean?" And then like he's like, "It was one of the happiest moments of my life," and I'm like, "Oh, that's so sweet." He like applied for a smaller role and they gave him the main villain, and he's like, "Yeah, it was just reflecting on one of the happiest moments in my life."
Is that on the Blu-ray?
It's on the
special
Blu-ray.
features?
Yeah.
I'll watch that at the end.
It's the same as on the DVD as well.
Julian
They
Glover-
just got the DVD special features and put them on the Blu-ray with some extra
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Like they often do now.
Yeah.
Julian Glover's also the main villain in For Your Eyes Only with Roger Moore.
Yeah.
And he's also the voice of Aragog in Chamber of Secrets.
Oh really?
Yeah.
There you go.
This guy's done everything.
Nazis, a Greek terrorist in For Your Eyes Only, and a giant spider.
Yeah, that's all three roles.
That's all you need.
in
And
cinema.
an Imperial officer.
And an Imperial officer. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's fucking
Wait, how
great.
many Star Wars movies have we been in? Fucking shit all.
Not even one. And one filmed in Sydney, and we weren't in it.
Granted, we were 10 at the time.
Anakin was 10ish. No, it was like 20 by then. Yeah, but no, we missed the mark. We failed on that one. We should have been Star Wars. Thinking back on it.
What were we thinking?
Oh, we get this big, epic exposition sequence, much like in Raiders, where they explain like the significance of the Grail and they build up the suspense and the impact of it.
And the missing piece of the tablet and everything.
Yeah, it gives you like all information about Indy's dad and stuff, and it goes on for like 10 minutes, and then right at the end, Walter Donovan's like, "Yeah, your dad is the guy that's missing." I just like imagine being Indy and like being there like a party.
Also, you could have led with that, Walter.
Yeah. goes on about everything for fucking ages.
But then when you rewatch it, you can see why it's done. Like
He's
that's
baiting him in.
That's Walter trying to hook Indy into it.
Yeah.
Because then you know he's a villain. Like he's not gonna be like, oh look, your dad's missing. Like I'm trying to help you. Like that's not all the agenda.
If the scene opened with him going, so mate, your dad's missing, it wouldn't be as your father is the one missing. Like to the
I think he's trying to tell him about the Grail. He's like, I'm gonna go save my father. But yeah, from Indy's perspective, I can just imagine like, wait, what? I've been at this party for 3 hours. What you never tell me about my fucking dad?
I've had like 3 beers.
I'm wrecked.
Why don't you try my father?
We already have. Your father is the man who's disappeared.
They go to Henry Sr.'s house. Marcus is there.
It's all a mess.
Yeah, it's been ransacked. And then they're on their way. They're on their adventure. And Marcus is here with Indy, going on the adventure.
Yeah.
He's not back at the college.
See, I think this is what's good about this one because it, like, straight from the get-go, like you said, you've got the River Phoenix scene, then we got the boat scene, and they go straight to pretty much straight into the plot. And then, yeah, it's pretty much all happening. Everyone's in there, everyone's along for the ride. There's no messing around with this movie.
It's very streamlined.
Exactly.
Even, I had a note right at the end, but I'll just fucking talk about it now, it's fine. The big action, like, set piece happens, and it climaxes, and there's a little joke, and they ride off into the sunset. You would only, like, cut back to the college and see Indy doing stuff, and then cut back to, like, Short Round and what he's doing. It was, like, the last of the series for its time. But yeah, it's like so quick and you don't need any of that. Movies these days, like, just, they always have extra scenes after everything, just like wrapping up every little character's story and where they are and what they're doing and showing the audience like where they are in their life. This one's just like, they named the dog Indiana, right off into sunset, roll credits, nothing. Yeah. It's fucking amazing. Yeah. Because no one wants to see any of that shit.
It cuts me gonna see it's like Salah going home and he's like getting his keys out. He fumbles the keys. Oh, hey. It's like just him sitting on the toilet just waiting.
But like Guardians of the Galaxy, like the third one, that was the last one in the series, and like they cut back to Quill doing his thing and they wrap it all up, and it's nice and it's fine, but I'm always in those moments like, I don't know, maybe we could speed this up a little. And this does none of that. No wrapping up. Well, there are emotional wrap-ups, but it doesn't feel the need to go back to every character and show what they're doing after the event. It's just event, joke, sunrise, credits. That's it.
I think that was kind
sunset.
Sunset. I think that's the kind of point. Like this one, it felt like Indiana Jones was riding off to go on more adventures. Like it seemed like it was just going to continue.
It was supposed to be the last.
And then that was it.
He did have another adventure.
He's had another 2.
That he did. Spielberg was the main one that didn't want to go back into it.
Yeah, Lucas was the one that pulled him back in.
Yeah.
For Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
And then Spielberg, well, we'll get into that later.
We got
the aliens.
The aliens. We'll get there.
Spielberg didn't want that. That was Lucas.
That's fair. Lucas is
no, this isn't Crystal Skull movie. We'll just wait. I've got thoughts.
I've got plenty of things to say.
I want to defend it. No, let's not talk about Crystal Skull. Let's just talk about Last Crusade.
Tune in next week for Crystal Skull. It's down in the description. Maybe. I put it there. If I didn't put it there, it's not there.
If you didn't put it there, I didn't bother showing up for this review.
Immediately, Indy and Elsa start like hardcore flirting, and there's this brilliant moment where like he steals a flower off of some shop and he's putting it in her lapel and he's like, may I? And she's like, you may. And he's like, it'll fade. And she's like, it'll fade. And he's like, I'll steal you one tomorrow. And Marcus just interrupts him. It always makes me laugh. He's just like, I hate to interrupt, but the reason we're here. They're just like immediately like at each other, just fucking flirting so fucking hardcore. And he's just like in a.
Fraulein, will you permit me?
I usually don't.
I usually don't either.
In that case, I permit you.
It would make me very happy.
But I'm already sad. By tomorrow, it will have faded.
Tomorrow I'll steal you.
I hate to interrupt you, but the reason we're here...
Yes, I have something to show you.
And I feel like there's a few moments where he could have known that she was a double agent, but he was just like blinded by her beauty. What do we think of Alison Dooley as Elsa?
Duty. Alison Duty.
Duty.
Oh, that's too silly for an Indiana Jones movie.
Which are completely serious. Yeah, I kind of love her character. Like, as far as indie girls go, she's different.
Yeah. Because this is the only one who betrays him.
Yeah, she's like an antagonist and a love interest at the same time. And she's greedy and selfish and evil and beautiful.
It's also good because it doesn't feel like she's along for the ride so much like the others. Like Marion and Willie are very clearly like with Indiana Jones relying on him.
Yeah.
She never feels like she's relying on Indiana
she's
Jones
like
at any point.
Like tricking him and like betraying him and stealing the diary.
Yeah.
Very different dynamic.
I mean, in the first two, Marion and Willie are his partner.
Yeah.
In the adventure.
Yeah.
Here, it's actually his dad.
Yeah.
He just doesn't show up until halfway through the film.
Yeah, it's great. And it's just such a different... The three girls from the original trilogy, they're all so completely different.
Yeah.
Marion's like hard-headed and like drinking down big hairy guys in the bar and punching people, and then Willie's like a super feminine like performer, like her nails and her hair and
superficial.
And then
Totally relying on Indy.
Yeah. And then fucking Elsa is...
She's just on her own agenda.
Yeah. She just wants the Grail.
Yeah,
and
she's with Indy if it suits her. If it doesn't, then she's off on her own.
Yeah, she's great. Like,
but I like how like when it starts off, even though she's a different personality to Marion, you're like, oh, here we go. We got the strong female character back, and you feel like she is going to be the Marion of this movie.
Yeah.
And then the scripture's like, nope, she's the villain.
Yeah, there's that scene where after the church sequence. Well, actually, we'll talk about the church sequence and all that. It's fucking great. I love all those.
marks the spot.
Yeah. There's so many little like setups and payoffs.
I also love how in that scene it's like, where's the 10? Where's the X? And looking around, like there's clearly a massive X on it, but he had to just get up. Like, and then you see like Marcus like starts looking like up at the books in the library. It's like, okay, we're looking for obviously a fucking architectural point in this building.
Not a book.
Like, what are you doing, mate? If I looked out at the ground, I could clearly see a massive fucking 10-meter X.
You need to climb upstairs, guy.
I don't think the film shows it correctly, but I'm pretty sure last time I rewatched it, because I had that same gripe ages ago, and the last time I rewatched it, I'm pretty sure when they're on ground level and the camera's down on ground level, the X is quite faded, unless it's just the light in that shot. So it looks like the X becomes. It looks like depending on the angle, the X like becomes more prominent.
I'll cut it in here.
Which way he's like looking like that, and then he goes up the stairs and he's like, X marks the spot.
That's the spot.
If there's any scene where they walk in, we can clearly see an X on the ground.
I'm gonna have a look when I watch it next week or the week after again.
Well, it's gonna be playing right now over the top of you talking. You need to commit to this idea.
I'm committed to it. You don't see it. You see it faintly.
That's fair.
I don't think they'd purposely shot. Like, imagine if Spielberg, for some reason, as they panned in, he just showed the X. That'll get him.
No, I don't think you see it clearly.
That's what I mean. Though. He wouldn't show.
No. I think like because a couple times you see like the floor level, like the angle of the camera, where it is, and you see faintly like a line.
I just think Indy's a showman. He just wanted to have that moment.
Probably.
Like, dickheads, there it is.
Hey guys, I solved the problem.
So we're just like, I need to make this a really cool scene and climb the stairs.
They go down. I love all this like dungeon crawling and like the traps and stuff. There's not so many traps here, but all those sequences in all the movies are like some of the best parts for me.
Yeah.
I've always like loved D&D and played D&D, and it's very D&D, like the dungeon crawl and the traps and the puzzles
Very
and like
much so.
the intelligence of like solving these like little things. You can't just like shoot your way through it. You got to use your brain and solve the little fucking puzzle.
Mm-hmm. And like in every movie, we get the creepy crawlies. This time it's the rats.
We got snakes, then bugs, then rats, then ants. Do you think Indy 5 will do something? Or do you think it won't like touch every?
No, but like it's probably going to be like a giant spider, giant den of spiders.
They haven't done spiders.
At this point,
they have done on
Bugs, I guess.
Melina briefly in the first one.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But it wasn't like a major like.
Yeah.
At this point,
like-
Indy 5 will be film critics. That is the thing that's coming for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, reviews don't look amazing.
Who cares?
Yeah, fuck them. I don't know. I don't know. There's lots of movies that have been reviewed amazing and I've hated, or reviewed terribly that I've loved. It depends on who the person is and how they're reviewing and what
I'm
their feelings are.
sure we'll air our thoughts here when it comes out. So
Yeah, in our Indy 5 review, we'll review it. We don't know at this point.
So if you're watching this way in the future, it's already out. You can just go watch right now and see what we thought of it.
It's in the description. if I put it there. If I didn't, it's not.
If we didn't make the video, we're so depressed that we just couldn't bring ourselves.
We've lost the will to live.
Fire reviewer is
We
sitting
just curled up in the fetal position.
I picked the wrong. I picked the wrong grail. I was like, I'm doing this on purpose. Yeah, but then we get the Venice chase. I like the
The Venice chase is one of my favourite chase scenes in the series.
when he's being chased by Borat.
Because he has a mustache.
The guy looks exactly like Borat.
That's
I never made the connection.
It's not. I'm not meaning it in a racist way. He just has the same hairstyle. He looks like Sacha Baron Cohen.
That's racist.
He looks like Sacha Baron. I didn't go. That guy's from Kazakhstan, so that must be Borat.
Guy single-handedly just got on your YouTube channel banned.
Oh no, people have done that before. No, actually haven't, but they've said some stuff.
The guy looks like Sacha Baron Cohen. I forget his name.
The actor or the character?
The character. Does he even have one? Oh, now come on, Rob. That's racist.
That's racist, Robbie. Not all people with mustaches are from Kazakhstan. I wrote down. I didn't write down his name, but I wrote down who he was. He's like of the Crucibon sword.
Crucifix sword.
Yeah, something like that. That makes more sense. Crucibon's probably been a word.
The Maximum sword.
Yeah, it's great. I keep on saying this, but I'm going to continue to say this because it's fucking boats out there on the water being filmed with a real fucking lens and a real camera with real images going into it, and it just looks like boats.
Yeah.
That scene was like, go between them, are you crazy? Don't go between them, are you crazy? Other way around.
I said, don't go between them.
You said go between them. And like, yeah, the boat gets crushed and explodes.
And you literally see it on camera being torn up by the...
Yeah, and that was like a boat thing that they built, and they had like, it wasn't a real like propeller, but like they were physical objects.
Was
It wasn't
That's what I
CG.
said. Well, yeah, was that real? Because there's points where like Harrison Ford's got the guy, and there's wood splinters like flying up everywhere. I was like, did they actually do that?
They built a version of that boat, and then they were on a tank with like a big fake propeller, and they built it like so it would explode and like pieces would fly off and stuff. And they built it longer.
But it couldn't hit them?
No, and then Spielberg said he filmed it with like a wide angle lens, so it looked like they were way closer to the propeller than they were.
Because I even watched that and I thought, Jesus, they're getting a bit dicey here with this scene.
It's all just like perspective and the angle of it, but yeah, it's
clever how just you don't think like you always think CGI to create an illusion, but literally cameras can just create such a cool illusion.
There's a great...
When you just look like Lord of the Rings, the way they did the forced perspective.
Yeah. Well, Ian McKellen sitting back.
It's literally just Elijah Wood sitting next to McKellen, but he's actually not sitting next to him.
Yeah. There's a great moment in Return of the King where, what's his name? Boromir's dad. Denethor. He's bringing out Pepin after he's trying to burn Faramir, and he's just dragging like a dwarf guy out, and he just drags him and then throws him, and then like rolls and just touches Billy Boyd's like leg, and he just jumps up in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And I feel like with CGI and digital stuff, like you lose all those little tricks. You don't need to like problem solve. You're like, we'll just do it later.
Yeah.
It's just like on a blue screen, and like you don't need to solve problems practically. Like they'll figure it out later. We don't need to worry about this. So, all those little. I don't know. I guess that because when I got into like filmmaking and stuff, they were like the movies of my generation. So I've just like gravitate to like that like practical problem solving far more than like obviously like rendering CGI on a computer is amazing. But it's just, I don't know, not as fascinating to me.
I mean, like I still find like all the big blockbusters like DC, Marvel, like they're great. They're a lot of fun. I love them. But when I see a movie like say Mission Impossible or Top Gun,
for sure,
it just feels so much more satisfying.
It feels real because it is real. Your eye knows. It always knows when something's fake.
Even just Force Awakens, like JJ clearly tried to go more practical. They were like the creatures and stuff. And even though at times you can be like, oh yeah, that's a practical little robot, it still feels more real than a CGI creation.
Absolutely.
What's this one?
The Ark of the Covenant.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
So the first movie is about the Ark of the Covenant. Second movie doesn't mention the Ark at all. The third movie, when they go down into the rat sewer place,
you see
there's an Ark of the Covenant reference.
Yeah.
The fourth movie, there's an Ark of the Covenant reference. They show it. if they reference it in the fifth one, it means it was in the first one, the third one, the fourth one, and the fifth one. I don't need that many Ark of the
I don't think they will, surely.
No, they don't need to. I don't think the James Mangold
Although in the trailer he does say be tortured by voodoo. So is he referencing Temple of Doom?
I guess so.
No, voodoo is Oh yeah, Temple of Doom.
Voodoo doll.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think they'll have like a wink and nod moment in the audience of that.
Harrison Ford just goes, he's like, off to find the Dial of Destiny. Like that time I was looking for the Ark of the Covenant. Remember that one?
Audience?
It's still me, I'm the same guy.
Yeah, I don't think they will, but if they do, that means that they referenced it in Indy 3, 4, and 5.
That's interesting, I never thought of that.
Which is too many times to reference the Ark, we all remember it. It's a fucking movie. It's fine here. And it's fine in
I like the way they do it in both. Like Crystal Skull is very kind of like you either see it or you do, like even though the camera does pan down, you can be easily watching the action and miss the arc. And in here, even though it's very blatantly like you can't miss it because he says it. I like how it's kind of like very still casually cast aside. He's like, oh, that's Ark of the Covenant, you sure? Pretty sure. And then they just move on.
It doesn't like dwell on it for too long.
But are they going to be top men?
Top men. And then Elsa trashes her room and Indy's room, trying to trick him.
Make it look like a
Yeah, I feel like that's like one of the moments where Indy could have kind of realised that she was a double agent, but he's blinded by her beauty, which is fine, because she is beautiful. But I'm just imagining like her explanation if he like walked in halfway between her trash in the room. She's like, oh, there was a rat, and I was trying to chase the rat. Do you have a diary or what?
I might need to hit the rat with the diary, that's why I need it.
And then even when he like reveals the diary, she's like, you haven't? You had the diary? You didn't tell me? Why didn't you tell me? I guess in retrospect, because I know that she's a double agent, it makes way more sense. Indy, he wasn't even like sniffing up that at all, so.
He just wanted to get with her.
Yeah.
That was what
aggressively make out with her.
He came forcefully with the flower, like you said.
Immediately.
Doesn't he at one stage question, she's like, is that what you think of me? Or am I just completely misremembering?
At the beginning, he tells Marcus not to tell anyone that they have the book.
No, but then to effect, like after she ransacks the room, and he shows her that he has the book. I'm pretty sure he questions her then.
He doesn't like
not explicitly, but like he shows that he's doubtful of it, and she says, "Oh, is that what you think of me?" or something like that.
Yeah, she says
or, like I might be completely
you didn't trust me, and he's like, I didn't know you.
Yeah.
He says I didn't know you, but he doesn't
right.
like suspect.
That's right. Yeah.
She's nefarious at all.
The Grail diary. You had it. You didn't trust me.
I didn't know you.
And then old mate Borat reveals her fucking.
I shouldn't have said anything. I just thought he looked similar.
You're not racist. I just thought it would be funny to paint you as a racist. And it was. This is like the 50-minute mark of the movie, and the movie gets like 200% better from fucking here. Sean Connery is the fucking man. He was a Bond, which is one of the main reasons he's here.
I was gonna say I love how like Spielberg made Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to do a James Bond film, and he literally has James Bond now playing the father of his hero.
Yeah. There's a moment at the end. We're skipping to the end again. That's alright. We'll come back to Sean Connery, where Walter Donovan shoots. He was a Bond villain in one of them. Alison Dooley was in Duty. Alison Doody was in A View to Kill.
Nearly stepped in some duty there.
She in A View to Kill.
Yeah, she's one of the Bond girls, which I didn't even realise today. I've watched all the Bond movies.
I've seen them all too.
I remember watching it.
I know she's in one, I just didn't think it was A View to Kill.
It might not be A View to Kill. She's in one of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got a Bond villain with a Bond girl. He pulls out like the Walter
PPK?
Yeah, and he shoots Bond. So it's a Bond villain with the Bond girl and the Bond gun shooting Bond. When he pulls out the gun and he shoots Sean Connery.
They're all bonded.
Yeah.
And I'm out. See you guys. That's a nice little bit of trivia. I like that.
Yeah, there was a lot of Bonds going on.
I didn't know.
Oh, Sean Connery.
Now we've all bonded over that.
Please stop.
Sorry.
I should should have a pun jar. I have a swear jar.
Sorry.
Well,
Oh, that pun jar before. Don't put that around me.
Before we actually get to Sean Connery, we get the fun little infiltration scene where Harrison pretends to be a
Scottish noble.
Oh, how the hell?
You in the tapestries.
How did I forget about that scene? Well, when I watched that last week, I was like, have I blacked out during this scene every time?
I love that scene.
You're only going to snack every time for 30 years.
Yeah, I just thought, okay, the action scene just felt like, go quickly rush to the toilet.
You're missing Harrison Ford in a beret.
Yeah, and he's doing an accent.
Yeah,
Terrible
I love
accent.
it. It's great.
Which is supposed to be terrible.
Yeah. He's like
The tapestries.
If you are British, if you are Scottish lord, then I am Mickey Mouse. How dare he?
Just knocks him out.
What a great scene. I didn't remember that at all. Did not remember that
I
scene.
love it. I love it. Does that completely over the top sneeze?
And then I remember as a kid, like when what is he, French or something? The guy that Indy knocks out. When he references Mickey Mouse, like
He'd be German because he's in a German.
Makes sense.
Now who's racist? Can't tell them apart, can you?
Scottish, Kazakhstan, French.
I can
You're always
tell you- I
saying
can-
me.
Hey,
And
I can tell you-
Italian.
He is not French, alright? I can tell you that.
This is a castle, and we have many tapestries. And if you are a Scottish lord, then
I am Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, he's probably German. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid and he referenced Mickey Mouse here. I never realized that Mickey Mouse was like around in 1938, but I wasn't sure. And I always, like every time he says Mickey Mouse, I'm like, did Mickey Mouse exist?
Yeah, well, Snow White was in the 1930s.
He did for sure. But as a kid, it always like
Steamboat Willie was like,
he must be, is like the 20s or something.
He would have seen Steamboat Willie, yeah.
Well, Disney's like 100 years old this year or something.
I want in Dollar Destiny. I hope there's a scene of him watching flashback just to Harrison Ford. Not even Indiana Jones. Just Harrison Ford watching Steamboat Willie. That needs to be canon now. I need to know how he got into Mickey Mouse to know that reference.
Harrison Ford doesn't say it. It's the other guy that says it.
German.
Oh yeah, true. Oh, fuck! How do I go see you guys?
Junior?
yes, sir.
It is you, Junior. Don't call me that, please.
Sean Connery!
After that fun infiltration, so yeah, we get Sean Connery. We get the hit on the head with the jar. Junior!
I got to the point where I was writing down like every memorable, hilarious line, and it's pretty much every
It's every line. It's every line.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, the other day at work we were quoting.
Yeah, it was going back and
It
forth, back
didn't
and
stop.
forth.
We're like, okay, we gotta get back to work now.
It's the last hour of the movie. It's just.
Oh shit, we've been finished work for 4 hours.
I was meant to sell those fries. We're gonna They can wait. They can wait. They were talking about Indy.
That's what I said to them when I took it up to them. I was like, oh, sorry, they're a bit late. We're talking about Indy. They're like, it's all good.
No one's gonna know what the fuck we're talking about. No one knows.
Doesn't matter.
We'll fill you in person.
Sean Connery is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
One of the best Bonds, probably like my second or third favorite. Where does he rank for you guys?
He'd be third favorite. Pierce Brosnan, I got a soft spot because he's my first.
He was
Bond.
our generation.
He was my first Bond.
Jai looks offended by this.
Nah, not for me.
I like
My favourite Brosnan Bond is Tomorrow Never Dies. And would you?
Oh, that's my
Would you like Die Another Day, mate? You get out of here with fucking Die Another
Die
Day.
Another Day is a bad movie.
That's the Halle Berry one,
but that was my first.
Let me
Bond.
windsurf down a fucking ice wave. Okay.
That was my introduction to Bond. That was the first time I ever saw a Bond film.
Doesn't matter.
I was a kid when I saw it.
They all seem to start off serious and then get silly. Like the first movie for every Bond is super like serious, and then they degenerate into
And
silly.
you got like Roger Moore and that fucking the sheriff character. Howdy!
He's in 2 movies.
Yeah, he comes back. He's on vacation.
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan's in my favourite Bond film, aside from the Daniel Craig ones. Like the Daniel Craig ones top my list, except for Quantum.
Yeah.
But after those are like, so Daniel Craig's my favourite Bond.
Daniel Craig's my favourite Bond as well, which is weird because I never favour the modern one. I'm always like Tom Baker or like someone from the 70s or something.
Daniel Craig was fantastic.
Those movies are just really good.
I think Daniel Craig has my favourite Yeah, but yeah, he's probably my favorite as well.
And he has like more like emotion and like
I feel we'd
he has
say that.
a climax. Like there's an arc. He
100%.
dies. Spoilers. Like
I feel
they do
weird-
stuff with the character.
I feel weird saying that after because I love Sean Connery as Bond, but then again I like Roger Moore as Bond too. But
Roger
his movies
Moore-
let him down.
Roger Moore, I get
They
tired of
were
as
really silly, intentionally silly. Like so bad they're good in areas.
See, no, I really like Moonraker. I thought that was
I like Moonraker too. For me, Roger Moore, when he's great, he's fantastic.
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
But then he's got some of the absolute stinkers in the franchise, like Octopussy.
Yeah.
What's the name?
That was horrible.
They just all blur together.
Yeah.
I watched them all before the new Bond got put on the shelf
Yeah,
for
same.
2 years with
Same.
coronavirus.
But
I watched them all before the new Bond, and then it didn't come out for
I
2
love No
fucking
Time to
years.
Die. That's my favorite.
No Time
Bond
Does
movie.
my favorite Bond as well.
True. I love Casino Royale, I think, and fucking Skyfall. Skyfall's amazing.
No Time to Die, Spectre, Casino Royale. They're my top
Yeah.
three.
Hang on, this isn't Indiana
I
Jones.
know.
Sean Connery. Have you guys seen Zardos?
No, but I want to.
Yeah.
I don't know where he wears the.
It's Sean Connery in a red jockstrap. It's like a weird psychedelic retelling of the Lord of the Rings. It's fucking amazing.
Okay.
It's so like off the wall and crazy, insane future dystopia, but it's in like the 70s, so it's all like psychedelic.
I don't think that's a movie you just sit down and go, I'm gonna love Zardos. So.
I was like, I went to JB and I'm like, you have Zardos, and they're like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, they couldn't even order it in from anywhere.
James Zardos, they're like. The panic button.
It's like a panic button, then there's a Zardos button, like hitting the Zardos button. We got another one!
Cops have smashed the door down.
But yeah, like, they couldn't even order it in for me anywhere, and I was just like to the girl, I'm like, well, I guess I'm legally downloading it then. Like,
You tried, did you?
No,
That's what you cut that. You didn't try.
I tried to buy it!
You didn't go to eBay. You go, you thought, oh, I tried one store. I tried everything. I tried one store.
Is it on streaming?
Maybe.
No, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way.
This is pre-streaming. This is like when I was out of high school, like 27 years ago. I was like, you guys have Zardos? And she's like, yes. I'm like, well, I'm gonna legally download it then. She's like, it's right here. It's like $5. I'm like,
No, I've only got 4.
they don't deserve my money. Amazing movie.
So you can't smoke a cigar in here.
Action on the fucking shelf.
But no, I haven't seen Zardos.
You should.
I have seen A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
That was like one of his last movies.
That was the last movie.
Yeah.
That's the movie that made him quit acting.
I haven't seen that for ages, but
I like League of Extraordinary.
I hate it.
I
absolutely
loved
hate
it when I watched it like 15 years ago, and then like there's been a bunch of smack talk about it, but I've not revisited it.
Smack talk. Has it?
They're talking smack. Yeah, no one likes it. It's terrible apparently.
Oh,
but I remember enjoying it.
Probably is.
It is terrible. I've seen it. I hated
I've
it.
seen it
I was so bored.
Did you not like it?
I hated it.
Oh wow, watch it again.
No.
If you rewatch Die Another Day, you can rewatch League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
The Untouchables is fucking amazing.
That's
Yeah.
a great movie.
That's one of the best movies of all time. Fucking De Niro as Al Capone.
Love that film.
Have you guys seen The Man That Would Be King with?
No, I've seen clips of it, but not the full.
Yeah, what's his
And I've
name?
never seen the name of the Rose either. Whatever
Me
the
either.
fuck that is called.
I don't know what that is.
He's like a is he a monk or something? He's a priest or something, and there's like a murder in an abbey or something.
I've seen clips of it, yeah. But
I really want to see it, so please
Yeah.
don't spoil it.
After Untouchables and in Indy, for Sean Connery, I can't go past The Rock.
Yeah, I liked The Rock when I was younger. That might be trash as well. Maybe not.
No,
It's a 90s action.
I haven't seen it.
True.
It's great. It's Michael Bay, but it's actually good.
No, that's fair.
I haven't seen it. I won't judge.
It's got Nicolas Cage, going very Nicolas Cage.
He,
good.
he likes the Beatles in it. Oh.
Anyway, back to Henry Jones Sr.
We need to stop saying Sean Connery because they were like, oh, I remember Sean Connery. He was great.
We're done with Sean Connery now. Moving on.
What about that John Rhys Davies?
John
No,
Rhys
Lord of the
Davies
Rings.
is amazing. He's aged a lot in that 2 years.
Who's your favourite? Just while we hang on, I just have to
Here we go
Who's your
again.
favourite Lord of the Rings character? One character.
The first thing that came to my mind was Gimli, but I
Yeah.
don't know if we're just because we're just talking about John
He's
Rhys
my
Davies.
favourite. That's why I asked. He's
Yeah.
my favourite.
Okay.
No, no one close for me.
Well,
It was Aragorn, isn't it?
when I was young.
Toss between Aragorn or Gandalf, but I think I'd have to go Aragorn.
Gandalf! I forgot about Gandalf. I'm changing mine to Gandalf.
Oh no, you pulled him out now, so it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
I don't have a
I think
Gandalf.
this guy's my favourite.
That's fair. He's like.
It's a very close tie between Aragorn and Gandalf.
Gandalf has a way better.
The white
I
or
like
the
Gimli.
grey?
I like Gimli.
Gimli's
I just
like the comic relief.
I like the race of dwarves
Gim-
and all that kind of
I
stuff.
like Gimli because of like his kind of like back and forth with Legolas.
Yeah.
But as a character himself, Gimli like by himself, like I don't find as entertaining as watching like Aragorn.
I think that's why I like the Hobbit movies so much. Well, the first two Hobbit movies so much. That one lost it a bit because it was following these hobbits for 6 hours. These dwarves for 6 hours, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're watching Legolas fall in love with Kate from Lost.
It was a 3-hour battle sequence.
Yeah, it just didn't. The focus went away. I don't know. But anyway, back to Indy.
Nazis. Yeah. I remember Captain America. It doesn't show the swastika, and like Disney, like
doesn't it? Oh no, it doesn't.
They're like a different division. They're like Hydra and stuff. They didn't want to show the swastika, and like this movie just full on shows like Hitler and like Hitler.
Well, that's interesting because Indiana Jones is coming to Disney Plus like this month,
and it's got swastikas, right?
Yeah.
Are there swastikas in Indy 5 trailer? I feel like there are.
I think Mads Mikkelsen is wearing one as he opens the.
Yeah,
I think so.
They're full like SS uniforms and stuff.
Yeah, and I mean it looks like Indy's in like disguising one at the opening, so I think we will see him. But it's interesting because I know like Disney are weird about that kind of stuff because like they even though like they used to edit like Walt Disney even smoking out of things. So like hopefully they don't. And I mean when I remember when Splash hit Disney Plus, they edited Daryl Hannah's hair to like go down over her ass, so they just didn't show bum crack in it. It's like really like
it's weird. Like
what kids are watching Splash? Like come on.
It's weird because like the swastika, like in Indy, it's clearly associated with the villains of the film.
Yeah.
So having it in the film does not mean you endorse it or anything like. So I don't get why they would want to cut it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But this is that whole thing about like that whole PC thing now with even John Cleese's come out. You know, like Fawlty Towers has all that backlash about him making fun of Nazis, and it's like and he's gone on record to say like who cares? Like we're making fun of. We're getting very political here. This is, but you know like So
I brought it up. It's my fault.
It's interesting. Yeah.
I remember when Captain America came out. I remember reading something about them not wanting to show the swastika, and I just remember thinking about Indy, and it's just like Hitler and the Hitler Youth and book burning.
I mean, Hitler's in it.
A rally. We see a Nazi rally in this.
And he comes face to face with Hitler.
And like
Hitler takes the book and
Yeah, you see his signature.
And I'm pretty sure there's swastikas in Indy 5. I'm not sure like if I specifically seen one in the trailer. But yeah,
we'll find out in 1 month.
I think you do. I think you do.
That's good because if they just were Nazis and no swastikas, it'd feel weird and all like Captain America.
I never noticed it in Captain America.
That's fair.
Now that's all
It makes sense because of Hydra, yeah, like and.
Yeah,
because that's what I mean. I never thought to look for the swastika because, like I said, it's Hydra.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never.
Yeah.
You ruined the movie. I know the movie's been ruined now.
That's why I'm here, ladies and gentlemen. Ruining movies for everybody. We got this great little motorcycle chase. This originally
it's great.
Wasn't in the script, and they thought they needed like more action, more pace, so they like just kind of
wow,
figured it out.
It's one of my favourite scenes of the whole film.
Yeah,
you get that constant disapproving look from.
Yeah, and he's like excited about all the people he's brutally and horribly murdering, and Sean's just like looking at his pocket watch like. It's fucking amazing. They get onto the blimp, and I think I talked in our last review about the big guy that's the
that's in number 1 and 2.
Yeah, he is in. There's a scene where the camera's looking out the window, and we see the German guy, and he's next to them. And there was a deleted scene where him and Indy fought, but it was.
We spoke about it. Yeah,
the big guy.
bit. Okay. Yeah.
So instead of that, we got the no ticket, which is a great scene.
And he does his indie thing and beats up the fucking ticket checker guy and just puts his fucking like jacket on over his indie gear, which is like too small and doesn't fit. This guy's so good at punching people in the face.
But is he beating up women in this one?
No.
Does he punch a woman at any point?
He forcibly kisses Elsa, but she's into it.
I mean, he does drop her down a giant crevice.
Nah, she had it coming. she was reaching. Give me a hand.
No, he tried saving her.
He tried.
That's true.
He doesn't punch anyone.
He didn't just go, I'll see you.
Yeah, he didn't drop her. She fell. Yeah, the great fucking ticket moment. And then, yeah, this movie has so much more, like, character moments and, like, deep introspection into who Indy is and why he is how he is and his upbringing and, like, not getting any attention and, like, neglect, which has kind of, like, made him into this, I guess, big, like, alpha male action-adventure guy. That happens with a lot of people, like, that are neglected as youths by their parents. They'll go into professions where they get rewarded by people, like acting or comedian or something, because they never got attention their whole childhood, and then they spend their whole life seeking attention from other people. And there's just, this moment where they sit down with each other and they're talking about, Indy's like, the last time we did this, we had a milkshake together. And this is all like Spielberg's relationship with his dad.
Yeah.
It's just completely mirrored here. Yeah. Spielberg didn't see his dad for like a 20-year period.
No, they had a huge falling out. They didn't talk for years.
Like a late teenager till like, I guess in like his 40s or something?
They only patched things up not long before his dad passed away, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, true.
It might be earlier than that, but I'm pretty sure it was...
How old was Spielberg when he had the falling out with his father?
He was like early 20s, I think. His parents got divorced.
It was after.
So that wasn't in the Fablemans, because he was still friends with he was still good terms with his father. In that
no, it was after that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But I mean, the Fablemans it's
fictional.
It's fictional still.
I got you. Yeah, but I thought it mirrored his life. So freaking close.
He might have left. He might have made it more extended that he stayed friends with his dad.
Maybe.
Just because he did patch things up with his dad. Just as a like, I wish that's what happened kind of thing. Maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. Because he does call it a fantasy. Like he calls it a fantasy thing. Yeah.
I'd be curious to see if he says anything about it in the special features once I get the Blu-ray.
Oh, I've got the Blu-ray.
I know.
Thank you.
Have you watched the commentary?
He bought me the Blu-ray. No, I haven't watched it yet.
I don't think he's even taken the shrink wrap yet.
It is. It's on the shelf. It's on the shelf.
Okay.
The shrink wrap is off. Did you open it up and look at the picture on the disc?
It's on my shelf. Hey, note to self, go home and unwrap the Fable on the shelf.
Oh fuck, Robbie's here. What's that rustling? Nothing.
What did you throw out the window? It certainly wasn't a Blu-ray copy of the Fablemans.
And yeah, if you look at a lot of Spielberg movies, it's all like family orientated, and there's a lot of like divorce.
More often than not, it's broken families.
It's all like
found strange when it was like Close Encounters and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even in Jurassic Park, the kids are there with Hammond because Hammond's daughters get for a divorce.
Yeah, that's like I think 5 or 6 Spielberg movies where like divorce is a plot point.
Yeah.
In it. It massively affected him, and he draws from that here. This was kind of his idea to bring in Indy's dad and make it more a family thing. Lucas wanted to do some like haunted castle fucking thing.
Of course he did.
And Spielberg was like, no, we should make this about family and divorce. Which was the most fucking awesome idea ever, because this like family element and this like in-depth, like, well not in-depth, but like more of like a character exploration of their relationship. It brings so much heart and energy and everything to the movie.
Yeah.
100%. Although if there was a 90s Indiana Jones movie he was in a haunted castle or something, I'd be down for that.
Stephen didn't want to do it because he just did Poltergeist.
Ah, right.
Yeah. And this like great emotional moment between Indy and his dad where they're going back and forth. Both Harrison Ford and Sean Connery weren't wearing pants when they filmed it.
What?
Yeah. It was
Oh yeah, I remember reading that.
Why?
It was really hot, and as Sean Connery said, I used to sweat a lot, and if I had my pants on, I'd start sweating. So he took his pants off because like they're supposed to be in winter and they're wearing like leather jackets and hats and stuff. And he would have started sweating. And Harrison's like, you're not going to take your pants off this scene. Like, surely you're not going to take your pants off for this scene. He's like, I am. He's like, well, then I'll take off my pants. So yeah, we get this great, like, emotional moment where, like, you never spoke to me. And, like, well, I'm here now. What do you want? And then not wearing pants.
Neither wearing pants.
I didn't know that. Now I can never watch that scene. So next review. Next review, cut the camera here. We'll all not wear pants. And then I'd stand up halfway there.
Whoa!
Whoops.
What you taught me was that I was less important to you than people who'd been dead for 500 years in another country. And I learned it so well that we've hardly spoken for 20 years.
You left just when you were becoming interesting.
The bloom starts turning around. They get on the plane and Indy's here like, fly yes, land no. And he couldn't fly in Temple, so in the last 2 years he's learned to fly a plane. Which makes sense. Because Temple is set
But he still can't land.
He can't land.
So that
he learned
makes
how to
sense.
fly.
That makes sense.
But there's a moment in Temple where they're in the plane and Willie's like, you know how to fly? He's like, no. He's like, fly yes, land no. But it's not, it's still in canon and continuity because it's said before, so it's fine. It's fine. All this stuff in the plane with the 11 o'clock. Where's the 11 o'clock? 12, 11, 10.
You know what? You know why I think this works so much? Because they're such lame jokes. Like they're not clever, likely written jokes. They're so lame. They're obvious jokes.
It's the way they deliver it as well.
Like I said, it's Harrison Ford and Sean Connery are pulling it off. Like if that was two other just normal actors, you'd be like,
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
The bit that always makes me laugh. It's Sean Connery and the guns go, and then to the tail like straight like, son, they got us.
Yeah. He's like, oh, he hit that? He doesn't admit that he did it, which is fucking brilliant.
He keeps doing things where because he fucks up a lot. Like he drops the lighter on the ground and creates that whole room on fire.
Well,
he shoots fire.
At the beginning, like, he is a fish out of water, dragged into like Indy's crazy adventures.
Yeah.
And then by the end, he's like fucking with Indy.
Yeah. He's ahead of him. And he's on the ground, falling off a cliff. Yeah, what are you doing lying down there? We got so close to the end.
Absolutely. There's this great little brilliant moment, which I just love so much. I don't even know why. I just fucking love it. But they crash the plane, and the plane is coming down and doing a run at them, and they kind of jump down. Sean Connery's just like, they're trying to kill us. He's like, I know, Dad. And he's like so angry and like so frustrated with his dad. He's like, this is a new experience to me. He's like, happens to me all the time. And just the way like he fusses his jacket and like pulls his hat like down and just.
People are trying to kill us. I know, Dad. It's a new experience for me. It happens to me all the time.
Just like the anger, like the intensity, and like the crankiness.
It's great. Any time that Harrison Ford is like screaming at Henry is great. Like,
which is always
Dad. Like it's
what? Dad, what? Head for the fireplace.
Or even like the car crashes into like the bomb thing. He's like, they're still after his dad. Like he's just constantly like trying to pull this old man through this hectic situation after hectic situation.
I think that's cool though, because I think it's because Indiana Jones is realizing like normally he can just get into these and get angry and frustrated himself, but now he's even more angry and frustrated because he knows he can't. His dad's frustrating the shit out of him, but he can't let him get hurt. So that's fun. I like it. I love that.
The whole dynamic is just like 1,000% better with Sean Connery.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot like overspeak how like better Indy is and how better the action sequences are, and everything is just elevated by Sean Connery.
This is the best Indiana Jones movie.
Absolutely.
Definitely in the top 2.
It's good, sure. Is Raiders is still your favourite?
Raiders is still my
favorite. Is it because
favorite.
it's more iconic?
Like, I love like the family and the emotion and all that tie-in and like the depth and the backstory. That's fine. I'm just more of a melting heads and blood and gore and gruesome.
And fair enough. Look, I just think Last Crusade just gets into it and just doesn't mess around and just gets straight to the point.
It's very close. It's very close.
Raiders. Oh hell yeah! They're both 5-star for me, and they're both like incredibly like 2 of the best films ever made. Last Crusade is my favorite Steven Spielberg movie.
That's fair.
Yeah. So
Raiders is mine.
Yeah, well there you go.
Last Crusade is my 3rd favourite Spielberg movie.
Well, your top 2, Robbie?
Jurassic Park, Jaws.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, they're all great.
I'm glad you think so.
I mean, they're all great films.
Yeah, the Spielberg guy is the good director.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
All 3 films though are my top 5 films of all time.
Yeah, true.
5 Spielberg in my top 5. Sorry, 3 Spielberg in my top 5.
So is your favourite director?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Who's your Jai? Who is yours, Jai?
My favourite director?
Yeah.
Edgar Wright.
True. That's fair. That's fair. Mine's Tarantino. Once again, I just love violence.
3 very different ones.
Yeah.
Although I do love Wes Anderson.
Oh, Wes Anderson's amazing.
As I'm wearing a Wes Anderson shirt.
Did you guys see my shirt?
I did. I was going to bring it up before. Yeah.
It's too small though. I ordered it like the wrong size, and it's way too tight. But I got a jacket, so it doesn't matter.
Did you wear that purposely for this video?
I did.
Oh, good.
I had a different shirt on.
I thought it was going to be a happy coincidence. I was like, great. Then I realised, he's playing
I
this.
was playing this.
Why didn't I wear? Oh, I should have wore.
You didn't wear your Jurassic Park shirt. You wore the other 2 reviews.
Because I was cold. It was cold, so I was like, I'm wearing a t-shirt. No.
What is under there?
It better be
A
the
black shirt.
We need to know.
It's just a black shirt. But I was like, I still gotta go Spielberg.
What's on the socks?
Jurassic
Park, there we go.
Park.
There we go.
Jurassic Park.
What's the I got again?
But I did still go.
It's just a koala with sunglasses.
I got a tattoo of Boba Fett on my foot.
I did still go
Gotta fulfill any nerdish
related
feet things.
I still went sort of Spielberg related. He produced Back to the Future.
That's fair. That's fair.
And I'm pretty sure Spielberg did make a movie about a koala laying with sunglasses.
Schindler's List. Great movie.
Dad! He's coming back.
All of the stuff is fucking great in like the leading up to the tank sequence. Indy and his dad's back and forth with the planes and the shrapnel and the birds. Indy's starting to like, his dad has a moment where his dad solves the action situation and it like pans onto Indy and you just see him like enjoying his father and like their relationship is building and growing as these
under these tense situations.
Yeah, as they move from one life and death situation to the next.
I only watched this movie recently, but I've forgotten. How long has it been since Indiana Jones has seen his father?
He says 20 years.
It's 20 years.
I think they'd seen each other in that time, like a couple times, but like they were distant.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think it was like hard 20 years where they had no contact. They were just like, they were estranged.
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
Yeah. And then the tank sequence. I feel like the tank sequence ties together some of the best elements in Indy in like some of the best executed moments of Indy.
It's very reminiscent of the truck chase.
It is
in Raiders,
and I like Raiders more, but I think the tank sequence is better than the truck sequence.
I like Last Crusade more, but I prefer the truck sequence.
Interesting, yeah.
It's going from the plane turning to the truck sequence instead of the
the truck desert chase.
Just the truck desert chase.
Yeah, the truck scene is one of the greatest action sequences of all time.
That's my favorite Indiana Jones chase.
Yeah,
and then it will be the truck.
I think tank. Yeah, I think the tank is better, and it's my second favorite Indy scene after the opening from Raiders. So I think the opening from Raiders is like perfect.
Yeah,
in like every way, and it goes through so many things. And like we timed it when we watched it. It was so short. It was like 12 minutes or...
And they pack so much into it.
So much fucking happens.
See, I think the tank scene works well because we've got Indy, Henry, Salah, and Mark Brody all bouncing off each other.
Yeah.
And I think that just is so fun.
Yeah. There's like action inside the tank, there's action outside the tank.
You got
multiple
characters, moments, you got comedy going.
Yeah.
Then when they all come together and then Mark Brody gets knocked off the tank and then Henry gets like shot forward and Indy has to save him while fighting. It's just so fun.
But it's tense, it's funny. We get like the iconic stunts. There's a scene where Vic Armstrong, the guy that doubles Harrison here, it's just a little moment, but he's on a horse and he like leans down and picks up a rock off the fucking ground to chuck in a turret, and like it's just crazy to me to think that somebody fucking did that.
Yeah.
Also a scene where he jumps off the horse onto the tank. So yeah, we got like stunts, we got action, we got humor, we got heart, we got like suspense, we got tension and movement. John Williams' score as always.
John Williams' score. But what I love, something that a lot of action movies these days don't get right, especially Marvel lately, is that the comedy always gets in the way, and it often jeopardizes, or like it ruins a good moment.
Like the momentum,
like the balance.
This is what I said, because the jokes in Indy, like I said, are kind of corny. Like they are like obvious corny jokes, but these actors are making them work.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
It's like the dynamic between the characters.
Spielberg's managed to balance it.
It's the timing of it. Yeah, Spielberg's between Spielberg's directing, the acting, and the editing by was it Michael Kahn by then? I'm assuming I think it was. Yeah,
he did all the Indy films.
It just flows so well.
Yeah,
and it's never once jarring. You never once like, oh, that felt a bit off. Whereas so many times in Marvel lately, you're like there's really nice moments, and then they say something like, okay, well that just.
I feel
moments.
like
100%.
Yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder and stuff. They'll have like a moment, and then they'll stop the moment.
Thor: Love and Thunder, the entire fucking movie was.
Have a goat screaming.
Yeah, and then they'll start up again. Like here, the jokes, like Williams is still playing like the score over the top of it. I think if the music stopped and cut out, and like if the action and the momentum and the movement stopped, but it's all like flowing and like happening as this tank is doing its thing. But Harrison Ford hanging off the turret, there was no stunt double there. He was just hanging off by his bag. People shoveled fucking dirt onto him.
Wow.
And did like the tank thing. My brain is always, I can't fucking unstop it from being like, Harrison Ford stunt double, Harrison Ford stunt double, but like he's riding the horses in like a lot of shots were like are impressive for like a leading man to be doing these horse moments.
Yeah.
Not necessarily stunts, but like there's a moment where I'm pretty sure there's like an explosion and like he rides on the horse and up to the camera. Like it's Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
Not stunt double. And it always annoyed me as a kid though, his bag is like trapped on the turret thing.
And he just gets up?
And then it's just like not on there. Dun 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 dun. I'm like, what? And it's like the next shot.
Magic box.
No, it needs to be logical, this needs to make sense.
Magic, not mine, Indiana Jones!
And speaking of like the internal fucking magic and the world and how it works, we get this fucking great moment, which kind of works too because this is like the last in the series, where after all these adventures and all these crazy, insane things happen, there's a ticking clock element with the tank going off the cliff and his hat flies off. And that moment is just like, after all this craziness of the eternal logic of this 1930s action adventure, his hat never comes off. His hat is like, see you the fuck later. I'm not going off the cliff.
It just slowly floats back at the end when he's safe.
I know, the hat, this is like the...
The hat's like, I'm out, see ya.
So, hang on, is the hat sentient?
That's what I was about to say. This is the most sentient the hat has ever been in all 4 movies. I don't know about number 5, maybe it's talking. Maybe it's walking.
Come on, Indy, let's go on one final adventure.
The hat has another hat that it puts on.
The hat even stole Indy's theme. You know, normally when Indy walks in, you get the dun, dun, dun. Here's the hat like do 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 do.
Yeah.
As it rolls into the frame.
We get
Hat's Jones.
yeah, we get the great like model scene. That one got Robbie.
That's shitty. That's a shit joke.
That's why I'm laughing. I wasn't expecting that.
You're expecting high caliber humor.
I don't know what I was expecting.
It's a great model shot of the tank going down. You see the little like
The puppet of
yeah.
German.
The camera just like zooms in like extreme on Indy when his hat falls off, and then when the German guy's falling, he does the same thing. It's like like there's so much impact. I noticed with Spielberg, he always like there'll be an action sequence or like there'll be a moment or a thing that happens, and then he always cuts to a character reacting. It's not just the thing and then that's it. It's a thing and then he'll cut to somebody that like looks at the camera, like has a face to like reflect how they feel about it.
I mean, there's the classic Jaws one, the kid getting taken, and it's got the reverse zoom of Brody.
Where it's like going in as it's panning out. That's so fucking good.
There's a lot of those moments in Indiana Jones actually where something happens and people just like silently react, like with the bad dates, and then they just like it zooms onto the.
They almost wink at the camera.
Yeah,
they don't, but bad dates.
Henry Jones Sr. here, he thinks his son's dead. I was waiting for you to stop coughing, sorry. Henry Jones Sr.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Rob!
Henry Jones Sr., when he thinks Indy's dead, he comes full circle and he opens up and he's like, oh my god, Marcus, I never told him anything. And he's all emotional and stuff. And then we get that great comedic shot
of Harrison coming in.
Which is just played perfectly. They're all looking over and he just walks up and he's looking over and they all slowly realize. It's just the acting is amazing.
Once again, shit like obvious, like Marcus Brody going,
yeah.
But it works. It somehow works.
Yeah. And then he has this emotional moment where he's like, I never told him anything. I thought he was dead. And then he's there and he's like,
I thought I lost you, boy.
And then he's like,
let's go.
He's like, good job, son. What are you doing? We're so close to the end. I've lost my Sean Connery accent.
No, you haven't.
I don't feel like that was as good as
Try it. Do it. We'll redo.
No, you're putting me on
redo. I'll react like I'm hearing it for the first time.
Small nuclear devices.
Hey! It's like he's in the room with us.
I will say this last 30 minutes of the movie here, I think of all the indie films, it's the best 30 minutes. I spoke to Robbie in our ratings review that after the truck sequence, that's kind of like the high crescendo for me. And
I agree.
I kind of fade off with all the arc stuff and the exploding heads and stuff.
What about the bridge in Temple of Doom?
I mean, yeah, that doesn't lose intensity or anything. That still keeps on going. But like this last 30 minutes here.
With the knight.
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And it's all like, it's the emotional relationship between Indy and his father. There is no great big action set piece or like explosions or anything. We get the tank sequence, and then we get, his father gets shot. A Bond villain with a Bond gun and a Bond girl shoots Bond.
And then they bond.
And then they bond together. And yeah, it creates it creates this like ticking clock element and just enhances the entire like last sequence so much. Like, you care for Henry, Indy cares for Henry. This whole thing has been saying, I'm not here for the Grail, I don't give a fuck about the Grail, I'm trying to save my dad. And then his dad is shot, and it heightens the suspense and the tension 20-fold.
And you've got that great connection where even though Indy and his dad aren't in the same space as Indy's going through the trials, it keeps flicking back to, and he's like following along with Indy because he knows like where he's up to, and he's like Jehovah, and it cuts to to Henry. He's like, but in the old, I can't remember the old Latin text, whatever, in the old Hebrew, Jehovah starts with an I. And Indy steps on, he's like, idiot. Starts with an I.
Continually through these 3 challenges, which are great and interesting. I already talked about the dungeon crawls and the puzzles and how
it throws the dirt along there. Which you can clearly only see from one specific angle.
That always bugged me as a kid too. There's a great forced perspective shot where the bridge is blending into the side of the cliff, and that was actually like a matte painting and a model and stuff. It was practical. And from that angle, the bridge is blending into the cliff. But from Indy's angle, like, you'd just be able to see it. It'd just be like in front of you. It wouldn't just.
You'd see it down the chasm. You'd be like, I could walk. That's a bridge.
That's a stone bridge.
That's a bridge I'm looking at.
But from this specific angle over here.
Oh, but hang on. If I risk my life and lean here, that's fine.
Which is a beautiful, brilliant little fucking shot and practical.
But I love it. I love
the painting. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Indy would just be able to see the bridge. He gets to the end, he sees the knight who's been sitting here for 700 years. Just imagining him like trying to learn how to whistle for 700 years or
just needs to be going.
They need to make a Disney Plus show where it's the knight and he's 700 years, and it's just like boring.
He's just sitting there like this, like
he says like a line of dialogue per season.
He hears a rock voice. Hey, someone! No.
A knight to challenge me? Nothing. Just like leaves blowing in the wind. The actor does a great job. This old guy. I don't know.
Uber Eats guy delivers his food. Cheers, mate.
He sends the thing and nobody comes.
I chose poorly.
His chips are opened up and everywhere. Oh, yeah, fucking Walter Donovan. He gets a cup and he drinks it. And it's horrific, and it's brutal, and it's gory,
and then you get the biggest understatement in any movie in history.
This guy like ages 100 years.
He slightly turns into Christopher Lloyd for a second.
He does.
There's a slight second where he turns into Christopher Lloyd. I'm like, oh.
It's like stop motion as his hair's growing out. It's like, oh, fuck.
It's actually frightening.
You see his eyeballs sink back into his skull.
That's more frightening to me than the Raiders. Nazi.
No, that's fair. And I think the reason it is because fucking Elsa is like clasped to him, and she's like screaming hysterically through the entire thing. William's score enhances it, but that's there in Raiders. But like nobody was like held by Tote as his face melted. Going, oh my god, his face is melting.
and then to make things worse, he doesn't just like and then fall down. He like explodes back. It's like his head's like oh.
He like flies. And he hits he just shatters.
And then the swastika like appears in the
and then like the dust blows away and there's a badge.
Disney Plus like no, edit that one. It's just
Mickey Mouse. But Mickey Mouse is
he's a Mickey Mouse Club member. That's all that is.
I think that's them going. This guy just suffered a horrible, horrific death, but he was a Nazi.
So I was like, that's fine. Don't worry about him.
Yeah, no, we murdered him brutally, but he was a Nazi. It's all good. Free game, which is fair. I mean, that works as like a story thing. You can just fucking do whatever you want to Nazis, and the audience is always gonna be like, yeah, get him. And then the night. This guy, it just like horribly, gruesomely decays as Alison Doody screams her head off in like horror, and he's like, "Here, Charles," and then he pauses. Like there's anticipation. Like we don't know what the answer is going to be. Like people were waiting on the edge of their seats to see if that was the Grail. "Hey, Charles." Oh.
I bet he patted himself on the back for that one.
He
still got it.
Waiting 700 years to tell that joke. Just sitting there going, "Oh, if they drink from the wrong cup, this is going to be hilarious." That was day one. He was there for 700 years.
That's why he paused, because he fucked the line. He chose.
Oh wait, what was it?
He chose line poorly.
Indy's like, "Oh, did he? That wasn't it? Is that not the Grail? Oh, I'll pick another one then. That wasn't it. I thought he got it. All right."
You chose poorly.
He gets out of carpenter's carpet's not gold. It's like whatever, bronze or wood or some shit. Indy's immortal for a brief moment. They wander back in, and there's this great, like, once again, practical hydraulic set, like when an earthquake happens and it all like breaks apart and moves, and you see it on the special features, and it's like this massive set that all like these places and pieces of the ground just move and
There might be the ground in Ghostbusters at the end. When
Yeah,
it cracks, like, outside.
I was about to say that.
It's fucking great. He saves his dad. We get that brilliant moment where Elsa's greed and her like want for the Grail betrays her and she falls to her death. And then it's reversed, and then it's Indy, and Indy's like closer and he's like touching it. And Henry's like, "Let it go, son. It doesn't matter. What matters is our relationship, our love, not the object."
And Henry's just come back to life, and he's like, "Son, I guess you only live twice." Alright, that's the last one, that's the last one, that's the last one.
I'm gonna get a pun jar. Right?
Don't. Are we broke?
Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
I'm just gonna put a 50 in there now.
Yeah, a great little emotional ending here. It wasn't a massive like action set piece. It was cool, it was interesting. It was all framed with the suspense of his dad dying and that ticking clock element. The revelation at the end is that the Grail doesn't matter, the Grail's not important. What matters is these two characters and the bond that they now have, because they've been dragged into and the relationship, which is improved through these life and death situations. They go out, we get the dog joke. I meant to say this in our Temple review, but Lucas had an Alaskan Malamute named Indiana.
Yeah.
That's where he got the name Indiana from. And that same dog was the inspiration for Chewbacca. He used to ride around in LA with this big fur ball. So this dog is like the inspiration for Chewbacca and Indiana Jones. What a fucking legacy this dog has left on the world.
And he wouldn't even know.
He has no clue.
The dog doesn't know. Unless he did know, and he's like bored of it his whole life.
He's getting kickbacks from the movies. He's like, "This is all me, Lucas. You're using my name. What are you doing?" But yeah, Willie was Spielberg's dog, and then Short Round was the two writers that wrote Temple of Doom.
It's all coming together.
Yeah, 3 dogs. This should have been in the Temple review, but I forgot about it. Indy was Lucas's dog, Willie was Spielberg's dog, and Short Round was the two writers that wrote Temple's dog.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then, so they do like an in-world thing here where they reveal that Indiana was named after dog, which is referencing our world.
That's the only one I knew of.
It's all meta
And assuming it's the same dog, unless Spielberg got another dog in the meantime, Willie, Spielberg's dog is in Jaws at the beginning. The dog that they have in the family is Spielberg's dog. So if that's the same dog, that's Willie.
So hang on, he needs appearance fees now.
What was Jaws? Like 70?
75.
And then they probably would have been dead. This is like...
But they might have still named him after the dog.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
Unless he got another dog afterwards. But
it could have been the same dog.
Considering
a dog could live that long. What's that like?
Well, a dog can just live 20 years. Like, that's a good one.
Yeah.
But even if he might have just died like a couple of years beforehand. Like, he could still name him after.
That's fair. And yeah, they have a little joke here, and they ride off into the sunset. Yeah. We don't cut back to Sulla going back to his kids and taking off his fucking hat.
His little fez.
His fez. Like, oh.
Dropping the keys.
And it's great. It's nice long. Like the credits are going for quite a while before it actually fades to black.
So that's the last one, and we just need to
it's great.
focus on the sunset.
Marcus Brody like flies off first.
Lost in his own museum. And yeah, I feel like in conclusion, it's the perfect movie in a lot of ways. As we said, there's no fat to it. There's nothing extra. Every like beat and moment is like set up and paid off and either there for like a comedic reason or a deeper emotional reason or a narrative reason. The action sequences are amazing. These are the best actors ever. This is the best composer ever. This is one of the best directors ever. George Lucas is one of the best like inventive creative minds ever. Maybe not necessarily a script writer, but he didn't write the script. He knew. I wrote the guy's name down here. He'd written like Lost Boys and something else. Jeffrey Bonham. Boham? Lost Boys.
I think it's Boham.
And he wrote Lethal Weapon 3 and 4, but I don't know, he didn't write much else.
Lethal Weapon 3 and 4. Didn't get the good ones.
That's it.
3 and 4 are fine, but they're no 1 and 2.
I can't remember 3 and 4 well. I gotta rewatch.
I watched them all in like high school.
Lethal Weapon 1 and 2? Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
3 and 4. 3's fine. 4's fine.
I think I'm for 4.
I'll just stick to 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Is there a fifth one?
There was gonna be, and then Richard Donner died, and I don't know.
I think it's still in development, but I mean,
I think I missed the boat.
I
reckon Mel's a bit past it.
Yeah, I think I missed the boat. Jai, what are your closing thoughts on The Last Crusade?
Best Indiana Jones film, as I said before. It's my favourite. I think it's always kind of been my favourite. I don't really think there's been any really debate about that. There's nothing more to say. We've been over it. It's got the perfect blend of everything, and it's just so much fun.
Robbie! The Last Crusade. Any final thoughts?
I think it's going to be just a complete repetition of what Jai just said. It's my favourite indie film. For a while, it was a bit of a... It's always... For a long time, it was a toss-up between Raiders and Last Crusade, but I think Last Crusade always kind of was my number one. Just because when I think of indie, I think of Indy and Sean Connery.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's this movie.
Raiders is more iconic.
Definitely.
100%.
I've seen Raiders first, and that might be one of the reasons why it's my favourite.
Yeah.
I think I'd seen Raiders like a couple of years before I ever found Last Crusade.
I saw Raiders first too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then Temple of Doom afterwards.
I saw all 3 of them one after the other because I remember.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
I had to like hunt for them.
Me too. Well, Dad showed me Raiders, I think, and then I watched the other 2
it was
later down.
It was Mum who showed them, and because she was a huge. I don't think she knew Indiana Jones all that well, but she was a huge Harrison Ford fan.
Makes sense.
And I'm pretty sure she would have seen the movies, but she just wouldn't have been like, oh, Indiana Jones.
It didn't like resonate with every essence of it.
But then I think watching them with me, and then over the years, she's now a massive Indiana Jones fan.
Yeah.
But it was with her at Blockbuster, and I remember seeing the cover, like it was the brown cover, like the images in the center.
Yeah.
The first one, like Harrison with the whip, and then so we got all 3 of those. And I remember there was always the 4th one. And I remember you had to rent the bonus material separately at Blockbuster. And
it's like, there's a 4th Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
What's this behind the scenes material?
I don't know why they did that. But I remember we went all 4 out and I watched all 3 movies back to back. And then I think it was one of the first makings of I ever saw.
Yeah.
After Jurassic Park and Jaws, that was the first one. And it was, I think I instantly went out and bought like the box sets. Like,
you enjoyed the movies?
I was, because I wouldn't have bought the box sets. Mum and Dad would have bought me the...
Yeah. What are your closing thoughts?
It's a good movie. And we'll see you all next time. For
That was
Christmas.
And then we run off into...
No, I did an in conclusion before you guys. It's fucking amazing. Sean Connery elevates the entire thing 1,000%. There's no, like, no, I've already done this.
You did.
I did it. We'll see you guys for Crystal Skull. Namaste.